New Year, same juice. We're going to go 4 major sports. Little, I guess, New Year's resolution theme.
New Year's, same juice, looking for new juice, though.
That's an oxymoron. That is, put that on a crossword puzzle. So, NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL. Anyone you want to resuscitate, anyone maybe you want to improve, do you want to see? You could go the opposite. You could, as with the Costanza opposite, be pessimistic. They're down, you want to kick them down more. Who are you thinking of? We'll go 1 for 1. Hit me first.
Yeah, mine's easy just because I'm a Chicago guy. You guys know that. The Chicago Bears have to get this head coaching decision right.
Do you have your wish list? Can I hear it?
There's one guy on it. It's Ben Johnson,
yeah.
period. I've been talking
give me backup.
I've been talking about Ben Johnson for years now.
And you're on it, but just in all fairness, if they don't let him go or he doesn't go to the division, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Who else would you want, culture setting wise?
Kyle Shanahan. Like I need an
would you be
offensive
pissed
guy.
if it, okay, so if it's
Offensive guy.
Vrabel, you're upset.
Joe Brady.
I like that.
I love.
I like that.
I need a young offensive guy
Okay.
that matches the mold and that could come in and shake up things.
Let me ask you, just put on the GM hat because I love listening you talk about the
think
Bears.
about how well it's working in Minnesota with a head coach on offense, and then I could guarantee you Kevin O'Connell hasn't walked in a defensive meeting all year.
All year.
He might not even know who's on that side of the ball.
He
might not even know the players over there. I'm serious.
John,
That's how important. Go get an offensive guy and then go get a defensive guy and let him do his thing. That's how it should be done.
Yeah, I agree.
Period.
Josh McCown also over there in the quarterbacks room.
Yeah, great. But dude, I'm sure Kevin and McCown are in there just cooking things up all day long. Having a great. So that's what I want to see from the Bears. Make the right decision on the coach because, man, honestly, I think you're starting to lose some of the diehard Bears people from my generation.
No,
I'm serious. You go back and look, Cutler ends up being a brick. And that was the only real guy that we had ever had. Then
you don't count Grossman? You got to the Super Bowl.
Rex was garbage.
You don't count him?
No.
All right.
Jay Cutler came over, was solid. He played well. If I would honestly go back and look at that tenure and be it could have been better, but he did pretty well for the situation that he was put in with different offenses and Mike Martz and all.
You put Cutler closer to Kyle Orton's stint or Rex Grossman's?
I love Kyle Orton.
I know. Everyone loves Kyle Orton in Bears land.
Mr. 3rd and 7. He was unbelievable. Shout out Kyle Orton.
Do you like him more than Grossman?
Yeah.
All right.
But what I'm getting at is you go get the Cutler piece. Doesn't really work out how you want to. We do go to the NFC Championship, whatever. But then it starts the process of filler. Then you go Trubisky, disaster.
Oh, over
then
Mahomes.
All these different things are starting to happen. Then you move up. You don't fire the coaches. You go get Justin Fields. That doesn't work out. Then you literally, it's a miracle Poles is able to pull off the deal that he's able to do. And you get a shot at a Heisman Trophy winner again. All the timing aligns again. You draft this kid. He shows talent. He's shown me a lot of different things where I'm whoa. He could play.
Absolutely.
And then you keep messing up the coaching, the coaching decision. You have to get the coach right or it's bad news.
Just while I have you on it, next would be probably show up the trenches.
Build inside out.
Yeah.
What's your guy, I should say, doing in LA?
I know. It's sickening because he would have done it in Chicago.
He would have done it in Chicago.
Except you guys probably would have been better.
Harbaugh builds inside out. You have to build inside out.
Have to.
When you have a quarterback. That's why the neighbor's pick is dumb, too, for the Giants last year.
Yeah, because Neal wasn't working.
Yeah,
They're moving him around. Andrew Thomas got
go
hurt.
You build inside out.
So my team, speaking of teams building inside out, and they might have to look outside in for this. The San Francisco 49ers. I know we've dealt with life. We've dealt with injuries. Window's not close, but we got a contract up with Purd, and if this man gets over $50 million, I'm going to lose my mind. I know you're a Purdy supporter, and I like Purdy. I like his game. But if you don't give him the franchise tag in a year where when he loses McCaffrey and he loses a couple pieces, and of course, no bigger offensive line outside of maybe a guy in Philly named Lane Johnson, then if Trent Will goes down, do you have a bigger shift in your entire offense? So I'll give him that. I'm sitting here, though, continuing to ask the question, which no one even wants to go there. But Sam Darnold was on this team last year. I mean, this coach, Shanahan, is going through a huge offseason here where him and Lynch got to get this right. And I'm sitting here basically saying if I had a little wish list for them, Wand, we just talked about it, get franchise tag him and bring in someone to put pressure like Aaron Rodgers.
No, that's disrespectful, though.
I hear you.
You don't look.
Because you think it's two quarterbacks or no quarterback?
Your job, John Lynch's job, is to extend Purdy at a reasonable number.
Yes.
That's his job.
But it's not going to happen. That's what I fear. So I'm just saying my wish list is give him 1 year. You don't agree with the franchise?
I just gave you 3 at $750,000.
That's fair. That's what his agent's going to say.
No,
yeah.
I'm not giving you another year.
But I'm not doing that. But it's a year not off of the Super Bowl. That's what's super. It's all timing with the negotiation.
A prime example of why he should have got his money last year.
Yeah, he should have.
You always strike when the iron is the most hot.
Danny Jones.
Period.
I just don't want them to get in a Daniel Jones scenario. I'm not calling Purdy that. I'm just saying quarterback top heavy. There's 7 guys, really 5 in the league at quarterback that can win a game. If everything goes wrong. He's not one of those guys.
They've made some mistakes over there.
They have.
That Brandon Ayuk deal is going to age like dust.
This is crazy. And I'm going to see John Lynch in San Diego. I'm going to say something to him. I'm going to see him at Las Olas in Solana Beach, where Steve Kerr frequents, and I'm going to say, Johnny.
John, don't do it.
Don't do it. Second team, you would resuscitate any major sport, anyone speaking to you. Big exhale.
Well, this was a tough one for me because I think you need to resuscitate. You know what? You go first. Because I think mine
I'd love to go first.
Yeah, go ahead. Go first.
I'm going to stay in the Bay, but, now modern day, obviously, we're heading over to Vegas. I want to see the Raiders just because it's good for football. I like to see them get back. They're in an interesting spot. Giants won that game they shouldn't have. Now they're working their way. They are top 5, top 4 right now in the draft. Brady's now an owner. I do like Antonio Pierce. He has won 2 straight games. I'm not quite sure with Vrabel on the market, his synergy with Brady, maybe a little bit of Kitsma there with obviously them being teammates winning Super Bowls plural together, and the opportunity to maybe find a way to trade, which they do have some cornerstone pieces, up to get either Shadur or Cam. They need to get a quarterback. Yeah. They don't have any time to waste. I really hope it's not Aaron Rodgers because that's what I can see them doing, something like that. Low desperation team, panic button. But just in short, this team has, in a weird way, culture without winning because of guys like Crosby that don't have to be there but are happy to be there. DA doesn't want to be there, fine. That was an interesting spot too. You don't see in otherwise locker rooms that are losing. Just go ahead, take a franchise guy out. I think this Raiders team is as low as they are on the win-loss column, they're kind of right there culture-wise. Also a top 10 pass D for what it's worth.
I hate to say it. Mine was or is the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, no! We enjoy the Sun.
I
like them down. You like them?
I didn't want to say it.
I didn't want you to say it.
Because
oh man, I lost my lunch.
Resuscitating them is good for the NFL. And I do enjoy the pageantry around them. I enjoy Jerry Jones.
You like them 10-7 more than 7-10?
You know what? That's the perfect way to put it. I like them 12-4 and losing in the second round.
I can get behind that.
That's where
enjoyable.
It's guys like us.
It's enjoyable.
It's beautiful stuff to talk about.
Yeah, it is.
Them being really bad is kind of get rid of Jerry. What are they? You know what I mean? I'd rather have Jerry have a little hope
Yeah.
And those
get
fans
crushed.
have a little hope and then kind of get crushed.
Just gotta love it. The
So
one year the
resuscitate
Niners,
them just enough.
it's the 1 year the Niners aren't in the way, and they can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Well, dude, go back to literally. If you're a juice bar lover and you've been watching us forever,
Yeah.
we talked about them going into the summer, and we were like, their offseason addition is Zeke Elliott.
You're saying we. I got to give you a lot more credit. You were on that. You were convincing me. And you were spot on.
And that's why we had to bet the Eagles to win the division. Like, it was like
you saw that.
Clear as day. It was clear as day.
Well, I don't know though. That's like to credit you. That's not that the average fan doesn't make that assessment. Not off double-digit wins.
Clear as day.
Not off something where you say trenches on both sides. Essentially, they've had a serviceable offensive line.
Yeah.
Since Tony Romo.
Clear as day to me. They didn't add anything that would ever make them a competitive team. Meanwhile, everybody else around you is getting better. And what do you know? We have it every year. There's a worst to competing for first team in your division. Guess who it is?
And you didn't agree with Dak, right? Getting paid at that time. You think that was a big kicker in how the season went?
If you're gonna pay him early, the way they handled everything was poor. Then they made no additions. It was always going to be a down year for the Cowboys.
New year, same juice.
Looking for new juice though.
Looking for new juice.